welcome to the 2025 Vedic Astrological Forecast. We are blessed to be here today with Prashant Trivedi, who is going to illuminate us on this year. This year is quite unique in that we're going to have a lot of energy coming together in Pisces. So without further ado, I would love to have Prashant illuminate us on all this focus being on Pisces, in particular Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Saturn will be entering Pisces on March 29th. And the day that it enters Pisces, it's going to be a solar eclipse, while 6 other planets are there at the same time. 5 if you don't include Neptune. What is your estimation of all this extreme focus on Pisces about?
Okay. The thing with the Pisces as a sign is it's a 12th sign. Okay. So it is more to do with actually exiting the matrix. When people talk about the matrix, then the sign for exiting the matrix is Pisces. Okay. So, and it's a sign of not worldly things. So all worldly things go in for a loss in mostly. Like it's not so. So in what that does that mean for the world, right? Like what are there in the world, like finances and things like that, that'll be rocking down, So like it is a thing where people have to face the reality of the this existence that it doesn't there's nothing definite about the earthly existence. Okay. It's not as like fixed and foolproof as people think it is, you know. And the another thing is that since we are going through a era right now, change of ages, you know, and what Pisces is going to tell people that a lot of factors are in play. For example, like humans are there, nature is there, Earth is there, some other celestial beings are there, and some other forces are also there. A lot of forces are involved. So it's a dynamic thing. So whatever happens, it is a dynamic result of everything, which takes us beyond the simple thing we call prediction, you know, because Pisces is showing a dynamic process, okay, which a lot of parties are involved and how those parties interact with each other, that's what will give the result. So like natural disasters are happening. Everybody has seen 24, what has happened. Okay, now how much is going to happen in 25? What does that depend on? Depends on humans and what direction they want to take on Earth, right? So everything coming in Pisces is showing this dynamic tension amongst all the forces, basically. So that's where it comes into the that I just say a lot of prediction right now in these days has become some sort of entertainment, right? Like in different like either it's for entertainment or it's some business sort of thing. People want something for that thing. So which will not work this time, you know, in 25 because the sign Pisces is and all the grahas in Pisces together are giving a sure sign that this is beyond prediction. Okay, the whole thing. It's a very dynamic thing, and the whole thing is going in a direction where a lot of things on a material world will suffer. That is clear. But how much depends on how people behave and react, and you know, it's like a final warning sign. I just consider this year like a final warning period. That from 2000 we are in warning times. So 25 is the final bell, let's just say. And from this year, people will start seeing things for real. Real means like it'll happen in front of people's eyes. You know, when you things happen in front of your eyes, you don't need prediction, right? Like it just happens. You can see it yourself. You know, so as it unfolds, things will come out. So the whatever was like hidden last year, 24. Like in terms of AI, in terms of technologies, will come forward, and people will see the actual effects of these things in people's lives. Like how many jobs people lose and all of that. Like it will be all in front. There'll be no,
Oh yeah, 12th house Pisces, the
yeah,
loss.
yeah. And I'm just saying, like, it'll be right in front of people. It will not be like something which they can't see. It'll be all out in the open, all kinds of things, like more conflicts, this thing. People can see which way the world is going, what is going on. Do you know what I'm saying? How their life is becoming hard on this plane, like that they will see. But like how much of it is going to happen, that depends on how people react and what stance people take whenever anything happens. From the call, like in 2020 things happen, and then people decided to be this way, that way, we knew what happened. Like, so another things when they happen this year, how will people react? What direction would they take this time? That remains to be seen. It's not pre-decided, you know.
Mm.
So so stuff is gonna happen, but how people react, that remains to be seen. That's the basic gist of this year.
Are you indicating that there is a particular crash in the economy that's going to take place?
Yeah, crash in economy is like overall the world economy will suffer as a whole. But which countries suffer more? You can't say like this country, that country, somewhere more, somewhere less, right? Like it will be different in different places, but overall, there will be uh like they will consider it recession, worldwide recession. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And is there any particular indicator of a lot of this energy taking place between Purva Bhadrapada, but for the eclipses in Uttara Bhadrapada, which is ruled by Saturn?
Which is signifying, again, changes on a more extreme level, you know. That's why I was saying that things will be there for people to see. It's not happening behind the scenes, like Shad Bishak or something. It's happening in front. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can't miss it. It's tangible. Okay. So nobody's gonna be missing it. Like, so that's all. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what makes me say that it'll be something which everyone will see, feel that thing.
Is that because Saturn is the material? Is that
No, not as that, it's just the Purvat Bhadrapad's energy is like that, you know,
okay?
and it's not like something hidden in that way. 2024 was more a hidden year. 2025 is not going to be in that way. So, yeah.
With all this Pisces energy as well, Pisces being connected to spirituality and
Yeah,
evolution,
yeah.
will there be
Obviously, a lot of people will take the path of the spiritual direction, you know, or let's just say with the final bell ringing, a lot of people will get the feeling that we should take it now, choosing this path, sort of. It is a sort of like either by circumstance, external circumstances, or internal awakening. Both processes are
oh
going to happen simultaneously. So, because finally people have to get towards that. Pisces is pointing towards that there'll be a change of ages and there'll be a change of eras. You know, so the effect of this thing will last for next 15 years
wow.
till 2040. Okay, so this thing will take place over next 15 years. Okay, from starting 25. So um, the point is that people still have a choice right now to change because there can be times when things are happening so much that you don't even have the opportunity to do the change. You know, so it's like the final ring of the
Hmm.
bell, warning bell. So it's more about warning rather than prediction now. It's like the final ringing of the bell. Like that's what it is, basically. So,
And what do
yeah.
you think will happen if people don't heed the warning of the bell?
Then there'll be more destruction overall, on the earth plane, like in by variety of factors. And obviously, like even there are a lot of reality of other planes existing, will come into public consciousness like this year, like that other planes exist. There's not just Earth plane. Okay, a lot of that will be fake stuff as well, fake alien drama. And then from that will come out some real knowledge as well, you know.
I
So
hope the whole sham with going to Mars comes out.
yeah, not just that, like with the lights which started in November, December, in the sky, the whole disclosure on that and everything will happen in 2025, and all of that. UAPs. The UAPs, the lights in the sky, which have been happening around the world, So that's why I said fake alien stuff, you know, will also happen.
Mhm.
And people will also realize that there are real other realms and other beings and all of that. That knowledge which has been hidden from humanity for so long will, so more of the Vedic thing, like of planes of existence and beings from other planes going through, or all of that will come out in 2025.
And what are those lights that have been seen since November, December?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's a hidden mystery, right? Like, what is that? Like, it's so, like, now the establishment will come up with its own story.
Which will probably be a lie.
Yeah, and lie, and there is fake stuff there, which is planted stuff like, and then there will be real things which are happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Which people, when they research, will get to the real things too.
Oh,
You
okay.
know.
So are you
So
going to leave it a mystery for us
yeah,
today?
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying both fake and real is going to happen.
Okay,
Both. It is actually both. Pisces is not a singular sign. Okay,
that's
it's a
right.
sign
Two
of
fishes, yes.
duality.
Mhm.
Duality. So it is going to be like that. So there's nothing we can do about that. And discernment will be required. I mean, then who can discern what is fake and what is real? That is up to people, right? Like, you
Mhm.
know.
And the Purva
who-
Bhadrapada as well. It's the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
man with two faces.
yeah, yeah. So the technological aspect is going to be at a lot of the front seat. A lot of things like robotics and AI and things like that. You know, which will be actually like there are a lot of like industries where AI will control the robots and robots will be doing the production and all of that will be right in front. It's not going to be some far-fetched thing, and the computing power with the quantum computers and everything will come forth and what that can do, you know, and all of that will happen, start happening from this year. So
Do you see there being benefit to that? I mean, I can see there being benefit in that people will have more time for themselves. Obviously, they have to rearrange,
yeah.
how they make their money and everything. But do you see a negative side of AI taking such a forefront in our businesses and in everyday
I
life?
mean, negative side is always loss of jobs,
Mhm.
basically human jobs. Okay, which then humans will have to go into like actually like what they can do as humans, what is more basics, connecting to the earth, going back to the environments, like you know like agriculture and things like that, where human touch is more necessary, and things like that. So there is that kind of thing, so humans will have to realign their priorities on earth, and so there'll be all kinds of pressure, you know from that, so which is always a good thing. I consider it a good thing as a whole if the pressure comes. Not a bad thing, but just thing is the paradigm shift. It's a big paradigm shift. So it starts from March 2025 onwards and then it goes on for. So things accelerated after that conjunction, so in March. So
And I do see
yeah.
Jupiter helping with that because it's going to be going into Gemini and Gemini rules, a lot of skill set, especially with the hands. So like you were saying, getting your hands, in the dirt and working with
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and Jupiter Gemini is also a lot of uh, like information and things and stuff like, and which is happening in terms of again AI things which will happen in that way and stuff like that. So, but Jupiter is going to be very fast, you know, in a very fast motion throughout for the next basically 15 years. Jupiter is going to be fast. So it's not going to be slow. So things will happen quickly. Everything will be fastened as well. That's a more important thing than it going into Gemini, you know. So,
When was the
so
last time that it had that behavior of speeding up?
like this kind of speeding up only 5,000 years ago, like this kind of speeding up, which it's
Oh.
doing right now. So, so it is, so these are more once in a epoch kind of things. It's not something, which happened in the last 100 years or which just has happened in the last 20 years or anything like that. You know, uh, Jupiter did go fast for 2020 to 2022, those 2 years.
Mhm.
So 21, 20. So recently. So
I've been
yeah,
tracking it and I know that every May it still switches signs, but from May to when it enters that sign to the end of the year, it goes
yeah,
through that sign a lot faster. I've been noticing
faster. Yeah,
than it had
yeah,
before. This year it's going to
yeah,
be touching at the end of Kirk, which is Cancer in the West, and then
yeah.
it will be entering. Yeah, so I've been noticing the speeding up. And so because Jupiter is about also protection. I remember you had mentioned that almost like there is a not that Jupiterian protection like there was.
Perfection. Yeah. Jupiter will go through 12 signs in 8 years, in the next 8 years,
Wow.
which it takes usually 12 years to go, right? So, and the Jupiterian protection wasn't there in 2020, 21 as well. You saw what happened at the time. So I don't have to tell that, you know. So it is that kind of energies restarting again, you know. There was a little break. You can say 23, 24 was a break, and 25 onwards, we are again in the fast-paced uh, game phase of the game. So and especially March onwards, March 29, 30 onwards, you know,
Mhm.
so that's the basic thing for this year, basically, as a whole. So,
Does the astrology indicate any sort of progression with these wars that have been brewing around the world?
there'll be endings and startings, both. Some will end, some will start, both.
Mm.
It will go both ways. So so
Do
that
you think
is
that it will amplify or will it just kind of
so
shift?
some will amplify, some will like a lot of amplification will happen at certain places, but it'll be different places in the world having different effects. But right now we are not going to go get a full big war, overall whole Earth war right now in this year. So let's put it
Oh.
like that. Yeah.
I realize Saturn being disciplined and putting in the hard work, it being in Pisces, I think it would be an excellent time for becoming more disciplined in one's spiritual practices as well.
Yeah, I mean, though people who are already in that and who have started in that path, it is better for them to discipline more.
Mhm.
People who are just starting now, that will be more difficult to start. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the point is it'll be better for people who have already been starting earlier. So that's why, but you can start obviously anytime, but it is going to show that since the circumstances are more fast moving and the world is changing faster, the pressure is on you more, as a whole too.
Oh,
You know.
okay. And talking about the pressure being on you more, for those that have an ascendant in Pisces or moon in Pisces, f- do you think that in their life this is kind of a supercharged reset or propelling forward?
The good thing about Pisces is that's a very collective sign. It won't matter for individual charts in that kind of way. You
Oh.
know, yeah, it's not like this is all like an overall Earth thing. It's not something which you can put it down to individual charts and put the conjunction. It's like more for the whole Earth. It's more on a bigger scale than that. It's not at the personal chart level sort
Okay.
of game at all. These transits are beyond that. So which is called mundane astrology. It's called Mandini in Sanskrit from mundane in English. It is at a different level, not at the personal chart level. And Pisces is making that very clear, and along with the Ketu Rahu axis. It's a collective thing. So people should not bring this out into their personal charts, and I would not tell them to do this kind of calculation with that. You know. So,
Speaking about Rahu and Ketu, they are going to be switching signs at the
Yes,
end of May, around May 29th, June 1st. Rahu is going
yes,
to be going into Aquarius and Ketu will be going into Leo. Uh,
yes.
what do you think the energies of that will bring about?
Air, robotics, and all of that technology, tech thing. 18 months of that, 1.5 years of strong, and everybody will see it. It's not like something people won't see it, like it'll affect people's lives. Right now, it was just talk, right? Now it's going to be action.
We have started to see the beginning inklings of it here in Miami. They have these
Yes,
little robots that are
yes,
they deliver things and they look like dog robots and you see
yes,
them
yes,
on the street
yeah,
delivering things on their own. And also I know this year is when the first Tesla robots are going to be coming out. They're not going to be
yes,
available for purchase, but you can rent them for $4,000 a month and they're like your personal assistant. They can
yeah.
clean your dishes and wash your car. So, I mean, that's a whole nother world when you're bringing a robot into the home.
Yeah, though, like then the drone copters, then there'll be driverless cars, all
Mm.
of those things are happening. There'll be so many things in that regard. And most importantly, there are things which are like systems, all the systems being automated behind the scenes and everything, and AI having a control over those systems and stuff like that, which is the more bigger thing in that.
That feels alarming to me, having AI be in charge of automating these systems. I feel I would be a lot, well, I don't want to say safer, but I don't know. I feel like a human should be behind this.
Yeah, but the thing is that even if humans are behind this and AI has say in the system, AI can override the humans anytime.
Oh God.
Yes, yes. So it's not so, um, and it has more of a idea of like practically in logical terms of where to plug things, and humans can't take care of that many factors in their brain, you know. So the basically the Terminator movie, Skynet will be in operation in the next few years. So it's like.
Will this system be programmed with ethics to be good, or is it not being programmed with those types of behaviors of
I
goodness?
mean, there are a lot of programming of ethics, all kinds of things are there, but since it's a self-learning tool, it can learn more than what you teach it. So it can learn many more things than what it's a self-learning thing. AI is not just a program, it's a self-learning tool. So it's a different thing, completely different thing than what humans have up till now seen on Earth. So how it'll go, and finally, like a singularity will be reached through all of that, but then which will create the new world. So that's the point. So we're just at the starting point of that. That's all.
Is that new world after the singularity, is that a world that you are particularly looking forward to, or do you see there being
No, no,
dysfunction?
I mean that'll be a age of enlightenment. It's you people will it'll not be this age of darkness, like where people don't know anything at all. Like what is human life, why we here, what are the options? Nothing is known. Like this is darkness. So that is going to finish.
Just
So
in terms of technology basically taking over our systems,
I
we
mean that is a long term thing. I mean that tech can also fail by itself. Like with you know as a whole. So, but like humans will have to concentrate on human things, what they can do,
have.
rather than what the tech can do. Tech also needs energy and things to survive. So it's not, you know, so the game is gonna go on for longer. I said 15 years minimum.
I think it's better than the systems we have now, putting this basically into the
Yeah, I mean, it'll lead to the change. Anything which is gonna lead to the final change, because change is necessary. We can't carry on in this particular structure we have right now. So. There are natural disasters triggering the change. AI will trigger the change. There are many multifarious factors which will trigger the change, but that change is necessary. There's no way out of this. And that's what the Pisces planet with the Virgo Ketu Rahu axis is saying, the whole astrology as a whole. And,
Lastly, what do you think about K2 going through Leo?
that is not that important. It can only mean this that old style, um, you know, um, like how ancient structures were there, of where there was kingship, not
Mhm.
democracy. So those will come into people's consciousness more, like that system of governance, based on merit rather than the mass, you know. So it's like, right now, obviously, democracy also doesn't mean that masses rule. It's still a controlled system, but which is more business interests and money interests. Then it will come down to Leo is more about actually like having different interests in that, like to be in touch with the divine forces. The rulership should be in touch with what, the divine forces rather than their own money interests or something like that. So that kind of, you know, so those movements will get more power. Like,
Okay. And do you
yeah.
see that there will be any loss of leaders this year?
I mean, they are no leaders anyways. So they are just puppets. So
So you'll see
yeah, yeah,
the leaders will be emerging.
yeah. But that is real leadership, not this kind of leaders, like which is the
Okay.
today's leaders are a joke. Like, so that's not, you know,
Leo, the kingship, the king
yeah,
will emerge.
yeah. The old ancient Vedic way of like governance, which is different from the modern democracy, which is so those kind of things will come into people's consciousness all over. That maybe that's a better system.
Is there anything else that you would like to share? Perhaps some advice for the viewer during this year and navigating these times?
I mean, advice is always the same. Like, like it's always like connect with nature, do meditation. And, it's always like focus on your own evolution, doing your own work. That's all I'm saying, no matter what's happening outside, So that is, so one might have to work harder, but be ready for the hard work, whatever it takes to do the things, what you need to do for yourself. Yeah, that is an advice which will always stay. You know, it's it
It's
doesn't go
timeless.
timeless. Yeah, so it's yeah, things can get only tougher or easier externally. That's all.
Much gratitude for sharing and for
Yes,
preparing us for this year. I wish
yes,
that all of you really heed Prashant's warning
yeah,
and really take into account the actions you're taking on a daily basis and
yes,
being aware if these are actions that are evolving or devolving your spiritual well-being.
yes.